Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Eye on Icon, where we go around the ecosystem and give you the latest news. And with me, as always, David!
Digital Dave. Hello, Fez. Thanks for picking up the phone. We've been away for 2 weeks.
I know.
Happy to be back. Lots of news. And you're down under.
Yep.
Are your bells jingling?
Yes, it's very Christmassy. Actually, you know, the street before ours, you drive down, every house is in competition. Like, their lights are ridiculous. And then you turn down our street and nothing. Oh, God, I love our street.
We have a similar thing going on. Lighting competition, indeed. I went out to the garden center to buy lights. They're dear. They are expensive.
Is it? Okay.
And I'm like, how are these people doing this? Like, there's at least like 400 or 500 euro setups outside in these front gardens. I just went with one pathetic little light cord around a tree to just participate, but we're not winning any prizes this year.
But honestly, I don't get it. Like, at one on the other street, there's people that put Santa on the roof with the pram. What is it? What is this cart called? And the reindeer. It's like all lodged. Sleigh. Yeah, sorry, you can see I've put that into Christmas, but this is like, how do people have time to do this? I don't get it.
I get they think they'll get more presents.
From who? Oh, presents. I thought you meant like presents, God's presents. No, like you're talking physical presents. Yes, okay, yeah. But they know the truth. They know that, you know, it's not Santa. It's us that buy the presents, right?
Not me. I can't even afford the lights.
I thought you were about to say, not me, I get my presents from Santa. Shut up, Fez.
I do. There's some under the Christmas tree here. It's looking good for me this year, so I'll keep you updated.
Okay,
on the next episode, we'll do an unpacking.
Live, okay.
How about some news?
Yes, let's do it.
We're kicking off with markets, aren't we?
We are. Okay, so very quickly, let's take a look. BTC, as we kick it off, we're looking at 16,841. What are we on? The 4 hour. Oh, look at these lines. I forgot I've drawn lines. David, I told, actually, David, if you remember, we discussed at this point the last time, and I said something's going to happen. I don't know what, but something did happen. It looked to
look at that. It went down, and it went up, and it went down again. So you're on point. There's nothing wrong with this analysis, and this is why we keep doing it every week.
That's right. What do we got on ETH? So ETH, again, we're seeing a bit of a spike up. It dropped. We saw everything dropped. Icon. Let's go down to ICX. Wait, sorry. So ETH is at 1,212. I mean, we've been, since November, we've been hovering in this range of below $1,000 to 1,400. Like, we've just been bouncing up and down in this range. What about ICX? Oof. Oh, remember this, David? What did I say? If we break 61 off the fibs, which we did, and then we kept going, and it's just bad news. And now we've set a new low, which is not good either. What is this? No. Let's take a look. David, yes, I agree. Oh, yep, we set a new low. Even looking at it on the daily. So ICX isn't looking the best at the moment.
It's not a sexy coin.
No. Hey, but it's not a VC, you know. It's not a stash sitting with FTX about to get...
It's true to its nature, decentralized, doing its 14-cent thing at the moment. I feel like on the macro level, like world economics and whatnot, if some... You know how it's been doom and gloom, inflation, wars and everything?
Oh, yes.
And that's also what's being projected all the time. Well, at some point, they're going to have to start projecting something good again.
And but that could be a while, right? Like,
yeah. Well, how about January?
Okay. New year, love it.
New year, new world. Project some good news, some okay news, and maybe a positive catalyst will just, like, you know how these federal super banks announce new interest rates and they say, yo, we're going to make money lending super easy again, or we're going to quantitative ease this direction or help the people out in that direction. Well, it's been doom and gloom, so maybe they'll turn around and try something new, and maybe that can be the positive catalyst
maybe
for all crypto, all of it, right? Because I see all those red numbers on the right hand side. And I know it's Christmas, but this is just pissing me off.
David, well, I like your positivity. Look, on a bit of a different note, like, I don't know if you know, like, I live in a small town, David, and I decided with everything going on in crypto and all the CZ, just FUD and constant, doesn't have the supply, they don't have it. So I tried an experiment. I rallied up the neighborhood. And, a bunch of us, and I'm talking a few thousands of people, went to the bank. And I think we tallied up probably around $12.8 billion amongst us all. And I had $100. But and we went in, and the bank didn't give us our money, man.
They paused withdrawals?
They wouldn't even entertain the idea.
What did the people do?
Well, they just walked off. They didn't seem to give a shit. But, it's hilarious because if Twitter knew about this, I don't know what would be happening. Oh, my God. Melbourne.
You kept it in the wraps.
Look, I guess we've been stung by it so many times. But, I find it quite hilarious how they've been nitpicking CZ in his interviews, in every angle, anything he does. But they're literally processing withdrawals like insane. Anyway, okay. Tweet of the week.
Tweet of the week.
Yes. So, look, real honest radio here. If you don't know him, he actually does his famous tweets every day. He requests. Now he's got a bunch of exchanges he's requesting. It's not just Coinbase. He's requesting ICX and different listings on various exchanges, but he's also a diehard Iconist and loves everything about Icon. And he voiced a bit of his frustration in recent times with the proposal that Alter had put through about redemption. And there's a tale to tell here, but this tweet it features as tweet of the week mainly because, look, if you're a community member and you're observing and you write into the chain, but you're just being an observer, you totally get it. It's quite frustrating when you're passionate about a project, Alter, the branding, and they're trying to expand on their model, and they want to do it with Icon, and they've gone for funding and then all of a sudden get rejected. And a lot of the reasons aren't valid. And lastly, it's not like the team didn't put in a lot of effort to put their proposal up 2 to 3 months in advance for the validators to get in there and actually ask questions instead of on the vote during the voting period just denying it and kind of saying, oh, it doesn't make sense. Well, what didn't make sense? So at the end of the day, like, and he's called out, we've seen GangsterBet who's gone successful NFT sale. Like, I'm a big GangsterBet fan, but this does resonate with me. I also, with you, David, we've spoken in the background going, yeah, well, this is a bit odd that they have sold out. They have been they've done so many things, but yet they've repeatedly gone to CPS for funding. I'm not saying this is a wrong thing. I think the GangsterBet, a team of builders that are building not just one product, a few products on the go at the same time. And I'm more forgiving, or because maybe I have a little more insight there. And two, I know they're building. Like, they're not taking money and running off. Like, I do know they're building, so I'm more forgiving there. But I totally get the point here. So, yes, we called this out, and I think it was great to see him have a bit of a vent because it spurred off a lot of conversation, a lot of good P-reps. Exactly.
It's the tweet of the week because it got traction.
Yes.
It was real honest venting, and in a way that was both stimulating. So, it got everyone felt something when they read that, but at the same time, it wasn't too dismissive, and it opened up conversation. I think that's a quality. So it did happen, and big conversation about the way that CPS is structured and the way it works occurred and is still occurring, because at the end of the day, Twitter is not the place to discuss, decentralized policy changes or however you want to run a blockchain. So what happens next?
Yep. And so next up, so what we saw then, Alter Frankie took the initiative. He got in there and put a detailed post about CPS. And it's important to note, I'm also at one point, David, I'm with you. I agree not to vent on Twitter and stuff like that. But what I've tend to notice is it's these vents that actually get some traction, and people sometimes people put it in the forums and no one checks. But so this was a great.
No, absolutely, I agree with everything. The way this went down, it should always go down.
Yeah.
Just poke the bear on Twitter, get everyone all interested in where this is going, and then funnel them to the forum, because otherwise I'd never go to the forum.
Yeah, exactly.
How many forum? You're not even logged in, Fez.
This is my crypto setups Chrome profile. I've actually logged into the other one. I knew you'd pick up on that, you bastard.
No, it's because I have to log in and go search for my password.
That's why I'm not logged in. I can't remember the password.
So the forum has. The forum isn't sexy. The forum isn't a place where you go, and it's long reads, and it takes mind space and brain space. So yes, you get the insight of what's going on, but it helps if there is maybe someone on Twitter as a catalyst for the discussion, which in this case worked out perfect, because I went in, I read all of this, I commented, my first comment in 5 months. So that's a New Year's resolution for me, to get into that forum more often. And even if you have nothing to say, just and maybe just do a thumbs up in the comments to let people know that you're reading and that you're there. But that's I'm spinning off now. What was discussed? You tell me first.
Look, I think a lot was raised, right? So in general, just the thing about CPS is Frankie's key. He calls out 4 different things. I'm not going to go into detail on everything. It's an interesting read, but primarily validators follow what other validators do, right? So he was calling that out. And he was proposing, basically, he was not just calling out it being critical, he actually had solutions. So he was putting together some solutions. What I really like about it is you go down, you see Rhizome, Brian gets involved, which is great. He shares some views. One of the big call outs, Geo, and I've also made this point, is it's too broken having the proposals sit in the forums for ages before it hits CPS. We need to house it in CPS and have a system that when the proposals are put in my eyes as well, is that the validators have to go ask, give it a tick, raise questions, concerns. Is it worth actually going to the next round where it is sitting there to get approved? So, something needs to be there. Right now it's too disconnected and people are just voting right at the end, and it's just breaking apart. And I get the frustration, because you got a team, if you've got resources and stuff like that, you've lost a month. So being vocal. So that was a real good call out. But what I really love, David, is the aspects. I see Scott always jump in these conversations, which is what you want to see, right? He has a wide experience and been there from the start, so he knows. And it's that some of the teams that he's working with, say Craft and Balance not necessarily, but Craft has gone to CPS for funding. So he has experience on an all-rounded, not just from all angles, is what I'm getting at. And you start to see he actually answers a lot of different proposed ideas, and it's not dismissive. He puts more perspective on it in terms of, this is a great idea, however, if we went down this route, there's an easy route for these attacks or this or that, these attack vectors that I would not have known about. And I'm guessing he knows, because they've gone and explored this space and seen what the challenges are and why they can't pivot so quickly. But the other takeaway as well is he offers perspective on time frames. So it's easy to say, and I'm guilty of this. I'm like, just do this. Great. As Paul would be listening to this episode and going, yes, he does that very often. But what Scott starts to talk about is, well, actually, these changes and the time it would take to make these changes and get it done before it would be pointless. So he gives that opportunity cost perspective from a resource angle as well, which I found I find these parts very insightful, because I'm also very much this is a problem, here's a solution, what's taking so long to get it done. So
yeah,
definitely one to go look through. David, what about you? What were your takeaways from this?
Well, definitely that the forum is disconnected from the CPS.
Yep.
So I think if the CPS would have a tab that is labeled the incubator, or just the phase before it's in a very important phase before things go up for voting. So I think they should be captured in the same space. And I like the idea about the voting. The thing is, like Alter says, and we know this now, right? Because you and I, we've become, mostly you, because you're so good at it, you rallied up your entire neighborhood to go to the bank within a weekend. We're politicians, we're politicians now, and we find ourselves all of a sudden in this politics game, because that is what it is. You can see if someone puts up a proposal, so you cannot vote yes on everything, but that would be the easiest thing, because after the voting, we're still in contact, communicating and talking with all these people. So if we just say yes to everything, all our talks are going to be easy, life is going to be great, but we can't do that. So you have to make decisions. So we've decided for ourselves, we are going to, after our talks and our interviews that we've done, go listen to the interview with Eric on the grants and on the development that the ICON Foundation is after. And by the way, if you like our content, like, share and subscribe to your friends.
Please.
We've decided our policy at ICON Validator node will be, for now, developer tooling and user tooling, right? Because we have decided that if we stick with that direction, it gives us tools for voting, and it's a solid, we can make that decision and we can vote in a certain direction. But even then, it becomes so hard to say no to projects that are otherwise really good. And we found that you do end up looking at, okay, what's everyone voting? Because that way you can just slot in with the majority and not have to have tough discussions, or at least they won't come after us.
That's right.
If we're the only one saying no, or if we're the first one saying no. So it takes a bit of, it takes balls to go in and immediately vote, especially if you vote no. You have to, give your reasoning and whatnot. And it just opens up, it's not just taking your time to go in and vote, but it takes more time to go in and explain and have discussions and put yourself in maybe the spotlight when you don't want to. It's a politics game. And what's your vision on it, Fez? Because I kind of leave it to you, because I feel like you're better at vocalizing.
I'm not. I just, okay, more context to this was, we get it, because I don't know, I don't think we were ready to be part of this voting cycle. It just kind of happened, and all of a sudden, as soon as it happened, it's like, oh crap, now this is a shorter voting frame, and all these projects, and we have to vote, and we have to go and look through the progress reports. So overall, even though we're across the ecosystem, I haven't gotten granular personally with the CPS stuff, so I haven't seen it from a validator's eyes that they actually do have a little bit of work to get through, especially if there's a lot of pending reports and stuff like that need to get approved. And if they give a crap and they care, they're going to look at the reports, not just approve it. On the other side, though, like Redemption, we voted no originally. We yes, dev tooling, but overall we voiced, I didn't quite follow the proposal. There was a lot of information there, to which Frankie then did a great breakdown. He did. I still didn't follow it, and we voted no. Then I saw Real Radio's tweet, so that did get to me, and I was like, no, crap. This is exactly the stuff I complain about. That when I see validators doing, are they voting no? Are they going and asking further questions to get the reason why they're saying no? And I could hand on a heart say I didn't get to the bottom of it personally for us on Iron Icon's behalf. So I went to Frame because I knew they were helping. In their chat, I started talking to the guys. I go, I'm not following what y'all are trying to do here. What is this exactly? Because I don't see what value it's adding to Icon. And I'm going to give a very terrible example here, but it helped me understand. If you've got company logo, let's say, and stuff like that, like the Iron Icon pens that you took to the conference recently, David. If you want items like this created, you can find these drop shipping sites. You put the, like, Printful is one of them. You go in, you sign up, you put your logos, and then all of a sudden you can attach your logos on pens, mugs, aprons, tops, jumpers, you name it. You've got a suite of logos on all this stuff, and you can ship. And they handle all the shipping and do all of that for you. All you do is literally take what you want, your logo, and put it on pieces of items, and then everything gets arranged for you. So that is what, in my eyes, the way I understand it very loosely, Redemption is trying to do for blockchain for the NFT space with a bit more class. So for these blockchain NFT projects to be able to go to, say, Redemption, go, we have this NFT collection, we want to design a collection of clothes, this, that, and Redemption in the background has all that infrastructure and services set up to just make that happen with their key warehouse manufacturers, blah, 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 blah. But you're getting my drift now, right? Like,
yeah.
The second I got that, I stood back and I caught on the call with David. I'm like, no, David, no, let's support this. It's a bit of a different use case, and I think we've seen Alter. He's already delivered, and it's a right step. And Framed, again, they're a reputable team, so we changed our decision. But this is the ultimate point, David. Like, that took a while back and forth till we arrived at that conclusion. And I guess the call out here is validators may not necessarily take that role that seriously. And it's not, maybe it isn't. It I guess at times when you're a validator, you're not signing up for that kind of responsibility. But on the flip side, you have registered to CPS. You don't default become a CPS voter. You need to register to CPS. So if you're doing it, then maybe that's part and parcel of the responsibility. But overall, like, this was one of the other aspects that got raised in this is, well, should it all be up to the validators? Why don't we start seeing what the community thinks? And, we've said this, change your votes. But is that enough? That's not enough. That's not having an impact in any way. No one's changing their votes. And,
we're a live forum here right now. You and I, we're on the town square. Because my thought now is, wait a second, you've got parties like Binance coming in, staking all their ICX, becoming number 2 or 3 or 4 validator in the past, receiving massive rewards, having the capital to back it up with their 5% bonding, right? And that kind of brings us to the next proposal, which is also in the forum. So the forum is hot these days.
Oh, yeah.
This is 2 hours in, Framed introducing a solution to ease the bonding requirement for validators. But my point is, there is a split between these big parties who they don't give an F about CPS.
No.
That Binance does, right? They don't go in, they don't read proposals, think about what is good for the system, vote yes or no, provide feedback, all of that. But they are getting massive amounts of ICX inflation in their Binance bank accounts, whereas there is on the other side smaller nodes like us, like other people who care, who have to go into CPS, who have a read, a look, try to understand things, provide feedback. All this work is essentially done for free, because the response would be, yeah, but you get validator rewards, but we don't, because we don't have enough ICON coins to put up the bond, and we're not high enough in the votes. Because we're not a massive party who can auto vote, to get up there, to get the rewards in the first place. We don't have enough bond, we don't have enough votes, but at the same time, we are scheduling calls to discuss CPS proposals, to provide good feedback, and keep the ecosystem going into a direction that we think is good. So, is the system broken, Fez? Yes or no?
I think it's broken. Yep, but. Look, it was never perfect. I think it's broken, and the improvements have been taking a bit too long. But as well, its decentralization is not perfect, right? Like, this is if it was perfect, like, we would have the god of decentralization already among us. So
and I felt like a politician on how on the market you stand on a little crate
to
elevate above the people and then go and get all worked up. What do we want and when do we want it?
Yeah.
So that's just me. Yeah, hardlining on. And this is, again, in the aftermath of Real Honest Radio, just kind of sparking the fire. Everyone got talking about this CPS. We love it and we hate it. It needs to be fixed, and people are proposing solutions for it. This is not as easy as voting yes and it gets built. There's also a building time cost element to putting through these changes. All stuff that needs to be considered.
So this is I think I know we've been ranting for a while, but I also used to be in this bucket. Well, what's taking them so long to fix? Damn it! But this is probably a big eye opener that has happened for me recently. Do you know CPS is completely open source, David?
Yeah.
Yeah. Confident. Yes, I love it. Look, one, it's open source, and if you actually go to the GitHub, it is really well done, detailed, like super detailed in every angle. Now, so why aren't people fixing it? Because at the end of the day, what we've seen traditionally keep happening in ICON is, yes, fix it. And who does it default to? Well, resources from ICON Loop or your key teams that I know, iBriz or IconSphere, one of the two teams. Damn it, I better not get this wrong. They're the key team that upkeep. So by every time work needs to be done, it's the same people doing it. And this is probably one of our things that delays or makes things slow, because even me, I came from in the IT space. One dev is one dev. Yeah, like when we used to plan projects, they would say, "Yeah, but you can take 25% of his time on this project and 25% of his time." I'm like, he's still the same human. He's not two people. Like, they're completely different tasks and issues that need to get tackled. But anyway, I'll stop that rant. But you can see where I'm going here, right? So. And why am I calling
time?
It takes time, but that's an excuse. No, it isn't actually. Like I recently spoke to Eric, and a lot of if you listen to the podcast we had with Eric, one of the other drivers, which I'm going to talk to a couple points down, so we'll pin this, but he's actively working through to pull in how we can get people actually collaborating and helping this part of ICON grow. Not a new, also, but not just relevant to kicking off a new project, a new NFT project, a new DApp or something like that. But if you've got a skill set, but there's all this stuff here that you can actually channel your energy to help build out and help ICON grow in a different way. So back to this proposal. This frame just put it up. I actually need to go back to them. I think this is quite cool. The bonding issue is a challenge. David and me know this in the background. We've also been working hard and creating a DApp that would enable bonding from the community in a more seamless manner. But they call out, I don't know if you knew this, David, or anyone else knows it, but as part of the bond, the nodes need a bond. The node can only have 10 different bonding addresses, which that put a spanner in the works of the application we were talking about building. But their call out here is that is a problem, especially if you want to community source your bond, and community actually want to help, but can only help in dribs or drabs, which is not a bad thing. It just that 10 wallets then becomes like you literally have to go hunting for whales, otherwise you're losing a wallet slot for the bonding. Anyway, they proposed this great little solution, which is BICX. I love it. I love the idea of splitting ICX in more ways other than just being SICX at the moment. So this is it's a bonded ICX, which essentially, if you've bonded, then those holders can have a stake and can go and vote for CPS proposals, put their input on what they would like to see. So if, we had redemption and these BICX holders, they would kind of signal and go yes or no. And you're getting a bit more of a variety or not variety, a lot bigger user base with more skin in the game, because they've actually bonded their ICX to the validators because, they care. They want more from ICON. So it's well written. Potential drawbacks, conclusion. I'd love to see TJ, Scott, and everyone comment on it. My only takeaway, and this is not me being critical, I would have gone to the guys and they'll probably listen to this, but I will go to them, is who's building it? So they proposed this. Have they got resources to build? Because if Frame can build something like this, my God, like, David, I'll learn to code.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. I could never code. But you see, this fantastic proposal. Are they proposing it? For who to build it is my only question. If it's a viable product, who are they proposing to build it? That's my only thing.
I challenge you today, Fez, to log into the forum and post your question underneath there with your feedback that you've just given vocally as well, because this is where it all begins. This is the public forum, and we must move. We must move on to the news.
Yes. Oh, okay. Look, enough. Yeah. So next up, what have we got, David? What's this about?
This is a Twitter Spaces run from the ICON. It's not the foundation handle; it's the ICON network, and they are having the When blockchain crowd on to recap the event that occurred 2 weeks ago in Estonia. I was there. It was a Web3 conference. It was an impressive venue. The pictures speak for themselves. I'm not sure if they've been shared on Twitter or across Facebook where you can find them. And I'm not sure which speakers will be on the spaces, but there were talks on Web3 the way we know it, like NFT communities, projects and that. But there was also a pitching contest with all sorts of ventures and ideas that could be worked on ICON, but are also like partially already on other blockchains. And we found policy and lawmakers were there talking about regulation and how it's good and bad at the same time, and what you should look at when you're a project and this and that. Not sure who's going to be on this particular spaces, but it's a recap of the event. So to catch a glimpse of that, set the reminder and listen in. It's about 11 hours from now, but by the time this episode is up, it would probably be 2 or 3 hours from now.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this in January 2023, it already happened. So go onto Twitter, see if you can find the link and listen back. And while you're there, hit the like and subscribe button and share with your friends.
Oh, that's twice. Damn. We're on a roll today. Whew. And David, should I put you on the spot? Like, how would you... No. Yes. How did you rate it? How was the conference?
Good. It was far. I think that's my the hard part, because it was in Estonia, but it wasn't. So we flew into Tallinn, which is on the west side of the country, but the conference was in the east side of the country. So after you arrived, you had to take a 3-hour bus ride to the other side of the country, which in itself isn't that bad, because you get on the bus, very comfortable bus. You get it's like you're sitting on a plane, really. It takes you to the other side of the country, no problem. But in terms, when you're looking at it from a distance, from afar, and you're like, hey, am I going to fly into this conference? And you see that, it just adds additional logistics that you might think, ooh, am I going to do this? And on top of that, there was a meter of snow.
Oh, really?
So it was amazing. And at the same time, again, logistics. A lot of people got bogged down on the way out because a snowstorm hit like that part.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So maybe in summer. So you don't get half the conference stuck on the airport because the planes are getting de-iced. But as a venue, it's a really nice. It's a double building. I think it's an old factory that's get repurposed. And like I said, see if you can just check out the photos, like the speaking auditorium, really, really nicely done. Like you got your stands where all these people are up. I think it fits about 300-400 people. Yeah. Nice, big, just good looking stage. And then there's these different areas where there were talks, pitching contest. There was an area with these NFTs on display, really nicely done. I just, style-wise,
it was good,
on point, and I like that. It was an experience.
Okay, good. Okay, next up. Whoa, what's this new token? Hyve.
Hey, this is something we talked about with Eric when we interviewed him, and he was saying, "Hey, we want to. We've got like this ICON." We've got the RFPs, the requests for proposals, and we've got ICON grants for different types of work. And these are all listed on build.icon.foundation. And he talked about, I asked him, are we plugging in external platforms to so that people get eyes on what needs to be built, you know, so that more people see it and think, hey, I can do this. Let me give this a go. And Eric said he turned it around and say, no, we're not plugging these platforms into us. We're plugging us into these platforms. Or maybe I'm switching it around now. But anyway, there's a connection. And this is a visible, this is that connection. Yeah. This is essentially an external platform that has people buzzing around the Hive, looking for work in Web3. And they've now integrated ICON. I'm not entirely sure how it works because they seem to mention ICON as a token.
Yeah.
But
it's a job.
It's a job.
Yeah, platform. So exactly. So you can list work, different types of work, and get paid in ICX, etc. So,
right.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, what it is it's a different community, a community of builders, workers, marketers, content providers. Think of Fiverr, but for blockchain services and getting paid in, stables and blockchain tokens. From my explorations, that's what I found. And now ICX is actively ICON, not ICX. ICON is there. We can list stuff and get paid in ICX as well. So it's great to be able to pull in external members to do things that are required for ICON or ICON related tasks.
Yeah, and talk about people building. The next news item is the next ICON hackathon. So you may have seen or heard of the Devera hackathons and seen pictures that went around in the past couple of months. This is it ICON DAO, ICON Validator, who runs these. Big hackathon coming up, $40,000 prize pool, and I think the day after Christmas you can start to register for it. So all we have now is just the announcement. There's a fresh Twitter handle that is communicating what's going on here. I like the style. I think we saw a big billboard of this a while back, didn't we? It's in Vietnam, and I think I saw pictures come through outside a university. A massive ICON billboard. Yeah. I saw that pop by. I thought, oh, that's cool. So that's this stuff.
So
do you like hackathons? Do you ever enroll?
No, I haven't enrolled, but I do love them. And I know again, there's something recently in CPS, and this was something in a panic stage we voted no. However, literally the next day we revised our vote to yes, and the no had come from tangible results coming out of the hackathon. That stickiness, etc. But overall, when I went digging, I saw this was raised, and I saw Danielle from ICON DAO actively discussing this and created a forum post or a post somewhere and encouraged everyone's input. Kind of what she did when she saw this was kind of aggregated and tried to funnel all this information in a spot to understand what all the different validators' concerns and what they want to see out of it, which I thought was really awesome. And that's probably, again, why I got on the bandwagon with you guys. I was like, guys, no. Seeing some good stuff come from this, I think we should vote in a positive light. It's something that's definitely needed. And this is something I mentioned earlier. I put a pin on it, but I want to come back to it. So in the past, and I don't know if it's necessarily this hackathon, but we've got these hackathons, and then they also do the university events. Those are different, isn't it? The actual... and this is now... I hope I'm allowed to talk about this, but I did have a call with Eric, had a bit of a chat with him, and it's good having those one-on-one chats, and one thing that came to light was these RFPs, and... they're not just necessarily what the foundation wants. So he's just whipped them together based on, just trying to give a bit of a demo sample. But the goal of RFPs is anyone building or doing something in ICON that has work they need to get done can potentially be an RFP. Okay, so, balance. You've got Protocol 7. They're building a suite of stuff. They obviously have a team that and they're building various protocols. So they may have things that need doing. So they could put up RFPs. But at the moment, these RFPs, we don't have people coming to pick up these RFPs. So then what's the point of them putting that effort? So that's a roadblock. Now, this is where Eric has, said this to me. What we want to make sure is happening in ICON is people in ICON are going to other people in ICON for services. Whatever those services may be. So it's not just the user base coming to the dApps. It's like and this is an example he gave, which he's seen. So RFPs. So right now he's taken that list of RFPs and gone to not the hackathon, but the other the dev training program they have in play, and gone, here's a list. When you guys are doing stuff, why don't you try tackling some of this stuff, because this will add value to ICON. Not just that, he's gone to Protocol 7 and go, hey guys, have you got stuff you're building? Do you need help with anything? What could some of the guys that are being trained to work and do stuff in ICON, instead of them just building random stuff that hasn't got that stickiness and just disappears and doesn't get any traction, what if we actually get them to build what you'll need? Let's build out an RFP and let's put it to them. And this is actually happening in the background at the moment, which is, I don't know if people know this. Like, after Eric said this, I was like, okay, this is really cool. This is stuff that should have been happening. Never say never. It is happening now. It's a start, and it should. I think if we see a bit of success and traction out of it, it will speed up a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so overall, very excited about hackathons. I really hope, even with the hackathons, I know it's about hacking together something, but if they need inspiration, they go to some of these RFPs. Or if you're listening and you're a builder and you've got an idea, whatnot, and you want to see someone create it, like maybe put together an RFP, go and see the structure on the site, create it, and see if it can be thrown into the hackathon for people who are taking part in it. If they're not, not everyone who's a builder is inspired to have their own ideas to go and create. Sometimes they just they need that idea placed on them and they go, I can do this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, David's giving me the signal. Move on. Okay, David, tackle this. What is this? What am I looking at? CoinMarketCap. Do we own it?
We haven't purchased yet. We're in talks to own as ICON Validator. We're wondering if they will accept our minimal payment, which they won't. So ICX as a token has been listed on CoinMarketCap since forever, because that's what CoinMarketCap does. It started off as a platform where tokens were listed and you could see their price, activity, and whatnot. I think it's owned by Binance in a way. I think it's the same mother company that owns Binance, also owns CoinMarketCap. And what they're doing is they're actually launching social side to it. They're kind of like mimicking a mix of Facebook and Twitter, like kind of blend them together. Which they haven't done before, but ICON is on there just as ICON is on Twitter, posting and engaging, and now incentivizing community members to not only follow ICON on Twitter, but also hop over, make an account on CoinMarketCap and follow there. So if you go do that, you're in the running to just bag 100 ICX every week for the next 4 weeks. If you keep just doing a post, which would cost you nothing, I suppose. Then,
so you need to get ongoing. So you need to get on CoinMarketCap and follow and actually post on it as well.
Yeah, if you scroll down.
Okay, should read the announcement.
Hit the button.
Oh, wow.
You follow. You post, and then you fill in the form which asks you to share a screenshot of your follow and your post, and then you add in your address. So every Monday during daily quiz raffles that happen in the ICON Discord, John and Arosh, they run the daily quiz, and people are winning 10 ICX every day there. Every week there's 10 people who will win 100 ICX if they have gone ahead and done this. So that's happening, and I think it's a push or an effort for ICON to get more featured on CoinMarketCap, because the tweet that went out yesterday actually tells us that they've already qualified for the VIP features, meaning that ICON will start popping up as recommended follows and recommended tokens. And articles will be spotlighted and highlighted across the CoinMarketCap platform. So it's a good place to show your face and be around in terms of marketing, I'd say. And this is an effort to get more people on board from the regular community, because the community's been growing already on CoinMarketCap over the past 2 months, if you go and have a look. So yeah, everyone just have a look at this. See if you can join. I'd say I did. I posted, so hopefully I win 100 ICX on Monday.
Yep. It is sensational, and I saw a tweet. Now I'm not gonna. I get it. Someone saw and said, "Oh, but we're only offering this much ICX." It's better than nothing, people. Like it's just something to get things moving. And
you mean the people complaining about getting $15 for following an account and posting a post, and that wasn't enough.
Yeah.
I read that too, and I giggled because I thought, okay, how much would I have to pay you to do a post and follow an account? Like, what's your rate? Because I'll tell you my rate. I do it for $1. So what kind of prince are you that you need more than $15 in impossible incentive to follow? It costs you nothing to follow and post. I do it for less. But what do you think it's enough in terms of campaigning?
I think it's great. I think if you're getting paid to even do it, like I mean, obviously this is. I looked at it in two things. As a community, if I was a diehard community member, I get it in a way. I get it. It's like, oh wait, because I would reflect on it for me. And like, oh, this is hardly worth knowing that ICX is now this much, so it's not much, and you want me to go, but no, we don't want diehard. We want our diehard community to support, because that's why they're the diehard community, right? They're always going to support regardless. But this is kind of all those bystanders who just haven't heard of Icon or anything like that. They're just going to see something going, hang on, I can get this much ICX. Let me go look up what ICX is and Icon is. Oh, it's worth this much. Free money. Woo! They start hitting. And a little fun fact for everyone. Do you know that icon.community, the most traffic referrals comes from CoinMarketCap, people. So this is actually a sensational push, and kudos here, because and all the diehard fans, don't worry about how much. It could be 2 ICX, who gives a damn, but get in there and show support, because this is the kind of stuff everyone keeps asking for. They want marketing. We're in a bear market, and all I see is tweets from CoinMarketCap with that say icon and near. This happened like 3 weeks in a row, so it's good to see that we haven't plateaued there. We're kind of pushing off on that with this competition. Yep, cool.
What is it? A campaign?
Campaign.
What's next, though?
Okay, some quick stuff. So, David, the other day, before you tweeted, I opened my wallet and I clicked on the NFTs, and it was so sexy. I was like, oh my God, what's happening here? Ooh,
it's good. It's good.
It was very good.
This is Hana delivering on their wallet promises or projected features. So now Hana is supporting NFTs. So all your Icon NFTs show up in your wallet. I haven't checked or seen if it works cross-chain, if you get your Ethereum NFTs or whatnot to pop up.
Yeah, I may check with the guys. I know in the background, like, they're waiting. There was an API issue for Craft that was getting fixed. That's probably why this feature just took a little bit longer, but it did get fixed. So you're right. I don't know if it was other chains. Well, I wonder with other chains how it would work. They would have to then have APIs for all the different
marketplaces.
No. Yeah, or would they? No, it would just be. Anyway, we're digging into stuff we don't understand, but it's supported right now.
Yeah, and I just went to the Hana Twitter feed, and their pinned tweet is, "Hello Icon World, Ethereum and Binance NFTs are available in Hana," and it shows a screenshot with NFTs from all these blockchains. So there's your answer. Hana's doing it all. We're behind on the news, even though we're presenting the news, and that is good. That is good.
This is fantastic. Like, I love it. I'm a big fan of Hana. The way it's evolving, I'll rant on that in another episode. But yeah, great thing. Next up, okay, so Lucas, he's teasing us, isn't he, lately? Like, constantly.
They're obviously working to get like stuff done and sorted. So they're diving into the available infrastructure, whether it's Icon Bridge or BTP, that is on GitHub, as we mentioned before. Like, all this technology, it's open source, and the idea is not that the foundation or the foundation developers build a product that we, the end users, use, but the idea, I believe, is that they build the infrastructure that then the dApp developers can use, so that then the end users, you and me, can come in and benefit from it. And now what we're seeing with the guys at Staky, they're now putting out tweets showing that they're working with the infrastructure that the foundation or the foundation teams are putting out. Is that correct?
Don't think infrastructure. For now, I think, again, I was chatting to Scott, and Scott explained this to me in a good way. Think of a manual. They're building a manual of forget BTP, building a manual of building a car, right? So in the same context, BTP, right? They're building this manual. The Icon Loop team at the moment is, as they're building, part of putting everything together into the manual, they're working on that proof of concept to make sure that when the manual's done, it's a product that actually works, right? They're not just built a manual and stuff to do, and at the end of it, it's like, congrats, like you built nothing. No, so it's a manual that is being created, and when it's done, then an integrations team or team will actually build that infrastructure based on the manual. But at the same time, because that manual is being created, other teams can start building their applications, their dApps, putting in the infrastructure that's needed in there to get connected. So this is what I believe we're seeing from Lucas, the tease. Obviously, so that's more context. But obviously, there's ongoing work. More stuff gets released with BTP. It's being in the testing phase, so remember that. But you can see that builders can actually start playing around and seeing what's being built. And what's good about this is, like, if there's stuff missing or things aren't clear, they can start asking questions, and that feedback is very valuable at this stage. So it's good to see this stuff happening, and I'll stop there. Anything else to add, David?
No, I'm happy to.
Okay, good. Then next up, look, David, I don't know if you've listened to this absolute banger, but
yes, I did. Yes, I did.
This is an Iron Icon plug, but obviously, when I was making this, I don't know, I found this track so entertaining that I left it in there. It didn't get much traction with the views, but again, coming back up, this is the Rhizome tracker. I don't know if y'all know this, but like, you can filter and productivity, like. So if you're voting right now, Code Metal, he has over 2 million votes, but he's not even producing blocks for Icon. And I know he's reward sharing, but he's reward sharing a token that you have no idea what it does yet. I'm sorry, but like, I tend to not be critical of anyone, but it's really pissing me off. And it's got all these votes, and people are saying, yeah, but you don't even know. Like, there's no value in what he's providing. He's literally banking, making bank, and not even processing blocks for the network. Okay, so all that aside, you can see this is the case for Arcade Node now they have 2 million, not even enough bond to be earning rewards. So you don't have time to go and look at this. That's okay. You connect to the Iron Icon website, as this video shows you. It will only show you the dead node producing validators. So Framed, if you voted for Framed, Rhizome, all these other validators, that's cool. Those votes will stay where they are. It will just pick up anyone that isn't producing blocks, and one click of a button, it'll just move those votes to Iron Icon. So I know we've drummed it, and it's a bit of a self-plug, but like, when I see this, it makes me sad. Like,
it's vote stagnancy, and you look at it and you think, hey, we want people to change their votes, but changing your votes is hard because, you have to get into either Hana wallet or previously IconX, and it's not very easy. So what we've thought is, hey, wait a second, why don't we make this easy? Go to ionicon.xyz, connect your wallet, and we've done everything for you. You just hit the button. Your stagnant votes that vote for validators with zero productivity, they get removed and they get allocated to us.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think that's a good idea all around. So ionicon.xyz, give it a visit, connect your wallets. Immediately you'll see if you have delegated to any inactive voters, and do something about it.
Yep. And you know what? Just listen to the banger. That's all I say. Look,
stayed for the banger.
Stayed for the banger, yep. Look, in case you weren't aware, the Monks are still sponsoring the show. I know we haven't spun the wheel in a while, but that has been a little bit intentional. Well, we haven't had an episode in a while, but the wheel hasn't been spun because they're looking at doing something a little bit different and encouraging the guys to get involved in some other aspects, which I'll let the Monks actually share that. But it's good. I'm a big advocate of it, and overall the goal of the Monks and everything the Monks are doing is to help the Icon ecosystem, but more specifically Ohm. So the new direction I actually love, and it's more than just giving stuff away. It's actually encouraging people to do a bit more to earn that. So stay tuned for that. But overall, thank you to the Monks. They literally thanks to them, they've kept the lights on for Iron Icon going. Otherwise, Yeah.
They might be the real MVPs, Fez.
I think so. Is that our MVP for the week?
The MVP of the week, the Ohm Monks, my favorite DAO in the Icon ecosystem.
Bingo.
And big shout out to them. Obviously, big shout out to the tweet of the week, Real Honest Radio, for just lighting a fire under that discussion. And everyone, go to the forum, log in, say hi, go to ionicon.xyz, check your voting, and toss us a couple.
Yep.
And I think that wraps it up for us this week.
Yes. Oh, David, what do you mean wrap it up? Not financial advice, people, just two guys loving what we do, talking about the ecosystem we care about. So if you want to lay some money down, you do your own research, okay? Not financial advice. Thank you, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Yes. Take care. Bye.
Bye.